Alright, back again, Luke here. And today we've got out the old Super Famicom, and I figured we could put in this game here. Nosferatu. So, let's pop this in and play some of that. Well, this is a game that many people had never heard of back in the day, and there's still quite a few people who have never had a chance to play it. So, today what we'll do is a little bit of a run through with it and see how far we can get. It has a little bit of a long intro, but it's really cool, so we'll let that run through. And there's our intro. So, this game was made in 1994 by Setup, and the game has a lot of really cool and interesting aspects to it. One thing I'm going to show you here is at the beginning. Because this game is really difficult, there's one thing that you can do. At the beginning here, if you go to Configuration, and we press Start, this game is one of those games where it'll only give you 8 continues for the Japanese version, but for the US version I believe it's unlimited continues. So what happens after you run out of those 8 continues is you have to start from the beginning of the game. In order to help you out here, if you go into the configuration mode, it'll let you change the level difficulty, the music, or go to change the key assignments. There's only 2 buttons that are used in this game. But if you go over here and you highlight the exit button, by putting in a certain code, it'll allow you to do a stage select. So what we're going to do here is press left, left, right, 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 left, 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 and you'll notice it'll flash. Now here you can choose any of the stages you want, and you can go back and start the game at any stage. There are 6 stages in the game here, and you'll be able to start at the beginning or the boss at the very end. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go back and we're going to reset it, and we'll start it back up again, just so you can take a look at some of the other options here. We'll skip through this. We'll just start it up here so you guys can see the intro. So there's the cutscene at the beginning here. We're just going to pause it here for just a second, just so you guys know what's going on at the beginning here. Dracula is out and he's basically kidnapping all the women in town. He's kidnapped your girlfriend and you've decided to go after him. You have nothing with you. This is just a fisticuffs kind of game. It's like a combination between Castlevania meets Prince of Persia meets Double Dragon. And it's a very wild game here. A lot of puzzles and a lot of different things to solve, but you'll notice there's a timer in the bottom left-hand corner, and when that runs out, you will die. To jump up, you just press up on the D-pad here, like Prince of Persia, and you'll climb up. You'll probably notice that the color for the character here is a little bit bright. Normally, he's blue color. This one looks a little bit white. The objective in the game here is to try and collect as many of these different treasure chests, or the things inside the treasure chests, to keep you alive in order to get through the stage. Sometimes just by pressing up once, you'll be able to get one item out of a treasure chest, but those treasure chests also have multiple items, so when you stand in front of a treasure chest, make sure to press up quite a few times. To climb up walls, you'll press up as well. As for regular moves here, you have your basic jab is pressing the Y button, back and Y will allow you to do a roundhouse, and then up and B will give you kind of a jump kick here. To go through doorways, you'll just press up. And you're going to want to go into these treasure chests. This is one example of a good example here. Press up once, twice, 3 times. Just keep pressing up until you can't get any more items, because these treasure chests look like they only have one item, but they actually contain multiple ones sometimes. In order to jump over crevices or kind of like holes in the ground, you can just press left or right. If you're next to the edge here, we're going to press right plus the B button. I kind of pressed right, but I didn't press the B button at the same time, and you can do a jump. By double tapping here, you can run, and I'll show you that in just a minute here as well. The game is filled with all kinds of secrets, and it is a very challenging game. Gotta watch out here. These guys will, this guy especially, if he grabs a hold of you, some of these enemies will drain your life. You'll notice that your life is in the bottom right-hand corner down there, and it's with the crystals. With some of these enemies, if they get a hold of you, they will take more than half of the life just in one hit, so. Now, this is a game that I played a long time ago back in the day, and it was a game that I had bought used, so I never had the instructions. Now, if you don't have the instructions, you're going to go insane in some parts, and this is where I spent a lot of time dying. In order to slide, you have to press forward, double tap forward to run. Then, in the direction that you're traveling, you have to press diagonally down and then press the Y button in order to slide through crevices. This will be extremely important in this first stage here in order to get through it, and one reason why I spent so much time just dying there. You'll notice the sound in the background is really kind of creepy and eerie. It really keeps you in the game. It's got some cool sound effects here. The graphics are really well designed as well. But overall, this is one of those games where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. If you hate Prince of Persia games, this is not going to be one for you. If you're not a big fan of these dungeon crawlers, this is also not going to be a game for you. It does require some troubleshooting or puzzle-solving skills. You really have to use your mind in a couple of places, or else you'll just give up and you'll want to quit. There are some other parts in here I'll show you in a second. I'll go and try and get some more stuff here. Just one item there. Some enemies should be popping down here, and you'll notice our life will just wind up going down here. You can see just left and right. Now there are a couple other codes that you can put in here to extend your life. What you're going to do is you're going to press back or away plus the Y button, which is going to be our, let's see if we can do this here, roundhouse. Then we're going to press up X, right A, down B, left Y. And when we press unpause again, you'll see our life meter has gone all the way back up. Now there's another another code here that can fill up your crystals. And if you need more crystals here, you can just pause it and press up X, right Y. Well, let me see here. Up X, right A, left. I can't even do it again. It's the exact same one that we did just a second ago. Pause, up X, right A, down B, left Y. And that'll usually refill your crystals if there are any. But you have to be careful in some of these areas, because if you do just drop down and you fall into the spikes, you will die instantly. So the hit detection on some of these bosses or enemies you can see here is just ridiculous. You'll find yourself just falling down or getting hit, or sometimes just walking through the enemies. So, but let's see if we can get our crystals back. Pause it again. There we go. Now we got 9 crystals. Whoops. Gotta do the diagonal really at the right timing. But it really is a unique game, a very interesting game, and a very difficult game. you'll get that quite a bit. Just one item there. Some pathways are easier to go through than others as well. So here we're coming up on our boss. Now, normally, I don't like to use cheat codes or anything like that, but this is one of those games that just really needs it. If not, you'll find yourself just dying left and right and giving up on the game. And it's a game that you don't want to give up on. I mean, it really is a fantastic game. At least for myself, I feel it's a really good, well-designed game. Really tricky one. You'll see here, change into the... Didn't even have to use very many skills for that one. And that's the end of the boss for the first stage. But once you get the hang of the game, it's really, it's a fun and just cool looking game. There's our stage 2. We'll just start it up here. And the music just seems to get creepier and creepier. The enemies get a little bit more aggressive and get harder to attack. So they do require different skills in order to attack them. We'll be coming up on one of them here. This eyeball will drive you mad the first time you try and beat him. What I do is I just press Y and B at you know, select timing just before he hits you, and he won't attack you. If he does hit you, he'll knock you down, and then when you go to stand up again, he'll knock you down again, so. But the sliding move, the hanging from the walls and things like that, those are all things that are going to come in handy. To go down a wall, just press down, and that'll allow you to kind of free hang there. Some platforms will disintegrate the longer you're on them, so let's see here. Trying to get enough running space can also be a pain. But with some enemies, you can just walk right through them, which is kind of interesting with the hit detection. Here's this little Frankenstein again. That's not me intentionally trying to drop down, it's just... By running and pressing your Y button here, you can kind of headbutt him. Y and B at the same time. You'll notice that the crystals just go, you know, every time you wind up getting hit, the crystals will disappear. Got some life. Yep, 3 in this one. There we go. But a really eerie game, and for me personally, I think it's just a really beautiful looking game. It's got some great creepy music that'll keep you in the game. Let's see here. I think I gotta go up. There's a lot of different secret spots that you can go through here. Let's see here. And that's another thing that makes the game really kind of cool, is that it does have multiple paths here that you have to try and find your way through it. That's kind of irritating. There are these small enemies that will kind of creep around and grab your leg and things. But the game does have a lot of similarity to Shadow of the Beast as well, because it makes you learn from your mistakes. That didn't work that time. And you gotta watch out because sometimes your guy will be facing the wrong direction. So. There we go. But nonetheless, just want to show you guys a little bit of a look at what Nosferatu looks like here for the Super Famicom. And once again, there are some similarities with Castlevania, especially Prince of Persia. And you can see here there are no other weapons that you can pick up, kind of like a Double Dragon here, or Streets of Rage, whatever. But I think it's a cool game, and if you're into those, any of those games, you might want to try and see about picking this one up here. So watch, this guy's gonna try and drain me for all the life I have. Let's see here. You can see the time is already getting down to the end. I'm gonna wind up dying here if I don't get out of here quick. Come on. Let's see. Get up there. Maybe I'll get some more time going into the next part. Yeah, I did. Okay. This one can be a little bit tricky, because if you get hit by that, you're automatically dead. So, let's see here. But yeah, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Let's just die here. Just for fun. So yeah, 8 credits.